This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
3 lead changes. You heard Musgrave blowed up motor, and he was the, and I say was, the points leader.
Oh, that's going to have big ramifications when the point standings permit. And it's pretty rare that you see one of Joey Arrington's motors go up in smoke like this. But
sure it blew up?
Yeah, big time. See the smoke,
okay.
Smoke inside the truck there.
Back up, boys.
Ted said it blew up big time. Tough break. I tell you, one thing about this, out of the top 10 in one race this entire season.
And they got to be smiling, or maybe they're just keeping their fingers crossed in the Presley pits. How about it, Ray?
Well, Jerry, 6 of the last 7 races have been top 10s for these guys. Danny, you come in 2 pit stops today, no changes to that truck. How in the world did you get it dialed in so good for Robert?
I don't know. We didn't have a whole lot of time to work on it, but I mean, we must have hit on something right here. Robert ain't said anything about the truck, so it must be pretty good. Can't say enough. Square D Dodge with Arrington motors there. I mean, Robert Presley driving. That's a heck of a combination. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
No problem on fuel, right? You can make it. All right, they can make it. Hey, what a great start for a new sponsor, guys.
Outstanding indeed. Square D, of course, the sponsor of the Winston Cup efforts for Bobby Hamilton under the Andy Petree Racing Stable, now coming on as a major associate for the remainder of 2002.
Boy, that battle continues between Coy Gibbs and Rick Crawford. Now, we're expecting Coy Gibbs to pit here. We don't think there's any way he can run 55 laps, but he's only got 8 laps to go.
Now, he uses his dad, Joe Gibbs, racing engines for the Mark Cronquist builds for Tony Stewart and Bobby Labonte. We know they got tons of horsepower, and they're pretty doggone good on gas miles, but if they go 55 laps, 110 miles, that's going to be pretty incredible.
I think Wayne Auten and his guys are going to want to look at that fuel cell after this race if he goes 55 laps or 110 miles. But, you know, Bobby Labonte is one of the guys that always gets good fuel mileage in the Winston Cup Series with these same engines. So, it may happen.
It may happen, and Gibbs right now holding on to 7th spot with 7 laps to go.
Of course, he's not helping himself by leading this pack right now. He needs to be in between these guys where he can back off the throttle a little bit, save a little bit of fuel. But, you know, he's a race car driver. He's out there. He doesn't want to ride behind anybody because he doesn't want to give that position up. So we'll see what happens. He's got 7 laps to go.
And there's Lance Norrick. You got a shot of the Express Workout Services number 90 for Norrick back there being shown in 9th spot. That would equal his best finish of the year, which came at Gateway. And as you heard Ray mention, this is the Toad truck they call Toad. It finished 10th at Daytona, also 10th at Texas. So great job. You got to give a call to this crew, Gus Prim and company, for Lance Norrick, and of course Eddie Sharp, the consultant that came on board this week. And now Norrick trying to make a challenge for position.
Rick Crawford pulled down to the inside of the racetrack. I'm not sure if he's having a problem or something, but and Lance just drove by on the outside. Look at John Wood get a good run on Rick Crawford coming through turn number 2.
John Wood currently being shown in 10th spot. He has 6 top 10 finishes this year. His best finish was 7th at Gateway.
Clear.
Rick able to stay right up with Lance now. Lost that position on the last lap, but able to stay. You look, it looks like he loses the front end coming off the corner here. John needs to get a little momentum. He needs to get a little run at him before he can get by Rick Crawford.
5 laps to go, and there's the man they're chasing. What a day for the Square D Dodge in the shadows of the Motor City, Detroit, where the manufacturers want to flex their muscles here in front of everybody. Ford, Chevy, and Dodge want to get it done at Michigan International Speedway, but right now, it's the Square D on the hood of that Dodge for Robert Presley with 4 laps to go. Presley has led 69 laps.
There's Jason Leffler. He was over a second behind. Look here. He was 1.1 seconds behind 5 laps ago. Now within 0.8 of a second. It's actually even closer than that this last time by. But he's running out of time.
Exactly. With only 4 laps to go, and Leffler has led the most laps of anybody this year in the series. And if you just go into our coverage, he's winless thus far, despite the fact that he has won 7 poles and led the most laps. But you know, Leffler has been leading late in a number of events and had problems. I wonder if he's thinking about that. Maybe somehow could justice be served if something happens to Presley? Maybe I'd get one delivered to me.
You know, Jason's led every race this season prior to today. He has not yet led today, so this would be the only race, if he doesn't get by Robert, that he has not led this season.
3 laps, 6 miles away from Robert Presley's second career victory in NASCAR Craftsman trucks.
Jason is pulled within a half a second of Robert right now, but it doesn't appear that he's gaining much, but it's not going to take much, only a half a second behind.
And Leffler, you can visibly see Leffler now beginning to narrow the gap. It was 10 truck lengths, now it is 8 truck lengths with 3 to go. I've got to believe that after all that's happened to Jason Leffler, he is absolutely hanging on, driving for all he's worth. And I have got to get this monkey off my back. And in order to do it, I've got to beat one of the best at this racetrack, Robert Presley.
He's within 4/10 of a second, Ryan. He gained a 1/10 of a second that lap. He's only got 2 laps to go, though.
It is 7 truck lengths. There is the Robert Presley crew. The Square D Dodge watching, and now it is 4 truck lengths. That's off of turn 2. 2 laps to go. They've cut the margin in half in a half a lap.
Wow, look at this. Jason Leffler continues to run the high side. Robert goes right down to the bottom of the racetrack within a half a second.
How hungry is Jason Leffler? How bad does Robert Presley want to win the first time out for a new sponsor? He won his first time out in NASCAR's Craftsman trucks. And now Alan Porter waves the white flag. We are 2 miles away from the checkered. Here comes Leffler.
Robert trying to break the draft. It did not work. Jason went right down there with him. He was within 2 truck lengths.
It's a truck length and a half, and Presley hugs the bottom group. Leffler goes high, looking for some drafting help. It's a truck length and a half, and it stays at coming off turn 2. Traffic ahead. What role will it play? There's the Ford, a teammate for Robert Presley. That is Brian Rose on the inside. It is now a half a truck length in turn 3. Jason on the outside of the racetrack. Robert right down the bottom of the racetrack. Presley on the inside. Leffler up high. Here goes Presley sliding up in front of Leffler. And out of turn 4. Robert Presley will get a win. First time out for Square D. And Dodge sweeps the top 2 spots at Michigan.
What a great job by Danny Rollins, Robert Presley, this entire team. This 1/10 of a second, Jason Leffler lost this race, but unbelievable. And what a day for Presley and the new sponsorship. What an effort. Leffler runs out of laps. Jason Leffler finishes second for the 4th time this year. Outstanding effort, Bobby Hempton. Yeah, you should be proud of your guys. We'll hear from your winning driver, Robert Presley, when we come back in just a moment.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.